Welcome back to another video. Before we get this video started, I want to say thank you. Thank you to everybody that subscribed. Thank you for everybody that's left a comment and dropped a like. If you're watching this for the first time, please take the time to subscribe, leave a comment, and drop a like. This video is going to be a little bit rough, a little bit tough. We're going to talk about how to overcome your trauma in your life. We all have trauma in our life. We've all been through some hard times in our life. Some harder than others, some easier than others. But we all have trauma. Like for me, for instance, my trauma started when I was 4 years old. I was sent to Ecuador at 4 years old without my mom, without my dad. Abused there to the age of 9 years old, 8 or 9 years old. That trauma screwed me up. It made me not trust the world around me. It made me not trust people around me. I realized at a young age, it was me against the world. I understood and I thought there was nothing good out there because all you've ever known was abuse, neglect. It scars you, keeps you in the gutter. The people that are supposed to be looking out for you are the ones who are putting you through so much trauma. And I had no one to cry to, no one to run to at the age of 4 years old, at the age of 5 years old. So much trauma I've been through in my life that's all I've ever known. Even when I came back to the United States at 8 or 9 years old, the trauma still happened. Being left home alone, having to learn how to cook at an early age, having to learn how to wash my clothes at an early age, having to be bullied because I didn't know the language, having to be picked on because I didn't know the language. And I had no one to run through. So that made me an angry person. Moving in with my mother's boyfriend, him abusing me. I thought hard times, neglect was all I ever was going to know for the rest of my life. And I carried that on to adulthood. And I didn't want to face all this trauma. I didn't want to face it bringing me down. So I said to myself, instead of the trauma bringing me down, I will bring myself down. And I will let everything around me come crashing. Until I had to snap out of it. At the age of 27 years old, I got electrocuted by 277 volts. I was stuck 8 feet in the air, being electrocuted. And I still remember that day to this day right now. And I tell you this right now, that probably has been the easiest thing I've been through in my life. I just talked about a little bit what I've been through in my life. Being electrocuted, and people look at me like I'm crazy when I say it. It's like, no, probably the easiest thing I've been through. I got third-degree burns in my hand. I still remember being up there, stuck up there, screaming, seeing my body, having an out-of-body experience. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. I believe that day was my wake-up call. Because I remember screaming, I'm going to die. I'm not going to make it. And as soon as I said that, I hit the floor, bounced right back up. I told everybody around me, I'm fine. Person around me said, no, you're not. Look at your hand. I looked at my right hand. I had a little bit of cut, a little bit of burns in it. And he goes, look at your left hand. My left hand, you can see basically everything inside of my hand. Third-degree burns in my hands. And this was the hand that was stuck, my right hand. My right hand. So that means that the electricity went through my heart and found an escape in my hand. I should be dead right now, how much voltage I got hit with. For how long I got hit with. But that was my wake-up call. And I still didn't receive it. I still didn't wake up. I still was angry at the world. I still was angry at God sometimes. And I was asking, why am I still here? Through all the suffering, through all the heartache I've been through, why am I still here? I should be dead right now. If you ever face that thought, it is the hardest thing you ever go through. Because you start looking back everything. And you're like, why am I here? I went into a bad depression. Started drinking. Started becoming a bad human being. Because I wanted to numb myself. I wanted to numb myself for the world. Because I didn't want people to know what I'm going through. I thought a man was supposed to suffer in silence. That it made you stronger if you don't speak about it. And you just keep moving on. Grr. No, man. It's not the way we should be approaching life. Because there's so much heartache out there that goes on in silence. Because we're taught not to speak about it. We're taught not to speak about the dark times, especially from our loved ones, if they're the cause of it. Like my mother was the cause of my pain, my heartache. And I thought if I spoke about it, somehow affected her. But it didn't. It's my story to tell. Then, 2 years later, I went in for neck surgery from that accident. And I thought everything was going to be fine. But it wasn't. I woke up in the hospital with an oxygen mask around me. To be told I'm not breathing properly. The next minute I know, I'm coughing up blood. Piles of blood out of my mouth. And we all seen that image in most movies. When you see somebody coughing up blood out of their mouth, it's not a good thing. And I asked the nurse that day, am I gonna die? She told me, let's handle one thing at a time. I was in ICU for 3 days. They didn't know if I was ever gonna make it out of there. And still, I was asleep. I didn't wake up until 2020. And when I had no choice but to handle my trauma, I started speaking to a psychologist. And I started to understand the trauma of the electrocution and the neck surgery were not the root what was bringing me down. What was bringing me down was everything I've been through as a child that I've never faced. I tried to run from it. I tried to vacation from it. I tried to drink from it. I tried to party from it. But I could no longer do it in 2020. The world had shut down. I was just me with me. Nowhere to run. And it's the best thing that ever happened to me. It's when I started to make the change in my life. I stopped running from my past and I started facing it. And I started understanding that yes, I've been through some tough times. Yes, I've been through some abuse, some neglect. But when was I going to take my life back? When was I going to stop playing the victim all my life? Because playing the victim got me nowhere to that point. Almost 30 years old. Got me nowhere. And I had to take my life back. I had to understand it's not my fault. It's not even my mother's fault for my downfall in my life. It's my own fault. Let me say that again. It's not my fault, but it was my responsibility to take over my life. Yes, I've been through some dark, dark times. But I had to stop playing the victim. Because if I kept playing the victim and not facing my trauma, I would have been an angry adult. I would have been an angry father. I would have done the same thing my parents did to me, to my child, to my beautiful daughter. But I'm sitting here and telling you all this because there's a way out of your trauma. The way out of it is speaking about it. You need to go see somebody to speak about your problems, your traumas. Do it. Makes you stronger. You need help getting out of the hole you put yourself in. Ask for it, and you will receive it. Turn your life over to God. Give God your life. Give Him your problems. Ask Him for your forgiveness. Ask Him to guide you on the path that you need to grow from. But you must face those traumas. You must speak about those traumas. Keeping them in the back of your head, keeping them hidden from the world, it only hurts you. If you're protecting somebody else's feelings, or how your trauma affects them, it's the wrong way to go about it. Because it is unfair to you, to who you are, to the man in the mirror or the woman in the mirror. It is unfair. You must face those times. You must talk about them. You must have the uncomfortable conversations. Right now, we live in a society that nobody wants to have an uncomfortable conversation anymore. They want to be squimmage. They want to be, we don't speak about that. What do you mean we don't speak about that? You don't see all these kids, all these grown-ups who have so much trauma in their life. And they walk around angry, bitter. Because we're told not to speak about it. We're told as a man, we speak about these things, we are weak. No, my friends. You are not weak if you speak about it. You're not weak if you let your emotions out. You are stronger because now you've taken the time to actually make those emotions, make those traumas lose their power. Because if you speak about those times, all the power it had before, it loses it. And you start working on your problems. You start working on your insecurities. And that's what I've done. Being able to speak to my mother about all my traumas helped me out immensely. To be able to speak to others around me about my trauma helped me immensely. It may help them in the moment, but it helped me because it lost its power around me. I'm no longer afraid of those times. I'm no longer afraid of being abused by my own father to the point that he left welts on my back just because of a report card. That didn't stem from the report card. That stemmed from what he went through as a child. The neglect my mother put me through is from the neglect her mother put her through. And she never faced those times. She never went back into her own head and said, I need to fix this. And that's what I've done now at 35 years old. I'm finally comfortable with what I've been through, that I can speak on it. And it no longer holds weight on me. It no longer holds power over me. And we all have that inside of us. We just got to let it out. Remember, you can't let your feelings overtake you. But you can work through your feelings. Now, if you're a person who lets their feelings dictate everything they do and cries about it, wham, poor me all the time, yes, that makes you weak. But if you're a person who who faces their feelings, who faces their trauma, everything will go well for you. Because it's relieving. You can walk around with a smile on your face. And especially if you have God with you. If you have Jesus along with you through that ride, it's beautiful. I just found God not too long ago. But He was always with me. Even through all my struggles, through all my heartaches, I knew He was there. Like when I fell off that ladder and I said, I'm going to die, that was Him telling me, no, you're not. You're going to go through this and you're going to come out a better person at the end of the day. You're going to help others see the true strengths inside of them. So stop running. Face them head on. Face the traumas head on in the mirror. Go get some help. Talk about it with your family members, your girlfriend, your friends. Even if you need to just get started, go see a psychiatrist. Go speak to a therapist. And stop hiding away from the world. Because it's only burning you inside. It's only making you angry. It's like trying to walk around with a 50-pound, 100-pound vest on your chest as you're running a marathon. You're going to feel like, I can't do this anymore. The weight of the world is on my back. But once you take that vest off and you throw it to the ground, you see how faster you are. You see how much things you accomplish. Because of those hard times, because of those heartaches. I look at those times now and they fuel me. You can no longer break me. Because I've broken myself and rebuilt myself. And I hope all of you understand that. First, to heal, you must break yourself. You must face those times. And then, when you've done that, pick yourself up. Stick your own hand out there and say, get up. Let's rebuild. Let's make whole. And nothing will stop us. Nobody's words. Because you walk with God. And you walk through your valley of darkness. And you've come out the other side so much stronger, so much powerful. And that's beauty. And that's life. There are more dark times, there are happy times. Right? But those dark times shape us. Either we come out stronger than ever, or we let ourselves stay in that darkness. And stay in there, in that cave, and let us take over for the rest of our lives. Not knowing the true potential we have inside of us because we're scared. And that's all inside of you, my friends. Every single one of you who are watching. Every single one of you who want to be better. Who want to become what they're destined to become. So unshackle your mind. Unshackle your hard times. Face them head on. And on the other side of darkness, it's light, it's beauty, it's growth. And you will love that. Because I know I do. My life may have been hard. My life has been shaped through darkness. But I understood. I'm no longer the victim. I got to take accountability. Can't let my past circumstances define me. I define the circumstances. I define what I become. I define if I'm successful in this life. And so do you. Each and every one of you. You're all amazing human beings with so much potential inside of you. Stop letting darkness take over. Stop letting the devil take over. And let God in. Face your times. Face your heartaches with Him by your side. And you see, you become indestructible. Ending it here. Thank you for everybody that's watched this video. Thank you for everybody that subscribed, left a comment, dropped a like. If you're watching this for the first time, please take the time to subscribe. Drop a comment and leave a like. Remember, work hard today for a better tomorrow. I'll see you on the next video.